your backyard or
Yeah.
something, and maybe that we can get that resolved without a major issue.
I
So
like that. I like this approach we're doing with zoning and property maintenance. Thank you.
that's all I have.
Thank you. All right, services?
I have nothing other than what Benny mentioned about the backhoe and the guy coming down this week to give us a quote.
Great. That was a quick 10 seconds. I like that. Property maintenance?
I have
Oh.
something. Sorry.
We're moving right along.
Ben and I discussed possibility of getting some quotes on if somebody come in and clean the streets a couple times a year, or if we rented equipment. So we looked it up and found some companies nearby, and so we've got some quotes coming in the next few weeks. We figured we would address that with you guys after we got the quotes to see how much it was, possibly in the spring and the fall. The company that actually comes out and cleans the streets with the big equipment, they're the ones that's coming this coming Wednesday. But I know that's something that people address all the time, about the streets, so we thought we'd make that initiative to just kind of get an estimate of how much it's gonna cost if we do go that route. So, so Benny's gonna be meeting them on Wednesday, to go down the streets. We're gonna get prices twofold, one if it was just the ones with the curbs, and one if it was all the streets, so that way we can address. And I haven't heard back from the one that we actually rent the equipment and do it ourselves, so
Okay.
I'm still waiting on that as well.
Well,
So.
thank you both for that initiative. Property maintenance. I believe it was
November
your
was
month.
my month, and I still have a couple of loose ends to tie up.
Okay.
I gotta get with Carrie on,
Okay.
and I will actually, I want the person for December to go ahead and take the new stuff from today, or actually from the 1st of December on, and I'll tie my first ends.
Right on.
While we're talking, who's got December?
I do.
Holly.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I've lost track of that
It's on
somehow.
the wall if you ever need
Okay,
it. It goes,
all right.
goes all
I've
the
lost
way
track
to
of it somehow in
December
my
of
mind
next
or
year.
whatever where it's
So-
at. So I'm just checking on
Molly
the.
says, how did I get so lucky that my last month?
Means you gotta come next month.
That's okay. I would
Alright.
plan on being here anyway.
You have a question?
Yeah, the Light Street junkyard, has that been wrote up and prosecuted yet?
It has, on its second notification, that's one of them that has to be, inspected, and at this point, if the inspection comes out bad, that was one of them that, he was going to inspect, then it comes back to council for approval to send to the prosecutor.
For the third violation?
Yes, because you go the initial, second notice, and then the prosecutor's notice, so, but council has to approve for them to do the prosecutor's notice,
That's my question.
yes.
Okay.
When I get my packet, can I have a new property maintenance code CD?
And he mentioned it, but on that one, I called the fire department on them
Right.
for burning stuff for the second time, and they come and put it out. And I told them the fire department, I was trying to think that was the first last month or whatever. It was just after our council meeting that they were burning at 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night, and I called them. I said, hey, you know who I am or whatever. This is nuts. And
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't-
and they just keep. And the guy goes, well, we're ministers. We're back in.
Down in this corner.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
What were
I
they
heard
burning,
something
Rod?
about that mattress.
Mattressing
Oh,
and
that's not
couches.
So ceremonial religious purposes are allowed by the EPA. But that being said, you cannot
Talking
burn
about
mattresses, tires, furnishings, anything other than natural materials. So you really want to get at them the next time it happens,
Call the sheriff's department or call the sheriff.
EPA.
call the EPA.
Yeah.
Because it's like a $10,000 fine. Now.
Well, and I told the fire department guys, if any paper needs filled out, I will fill it, and I want paperwork filled out, and I haven't done that to go back. But this is, that place is getting terrible behind my house, and
We have some
And-
others.
And if
And
it's
I
in
will-
November, they're violating burn laws
Yeah,
after
exactly.
6
Well, and
p.m.
it does
Yeah.
stink.
And I will
That
expand a
hole.
little bit because when we go out on open burns, we are not allowed to contact the EPA. That has to be done by our administrative staff or somebody above us. But
Any person.
any person, any citizen can call the EPA and say, this is what the issue is, because I don't know how they're set up, you know,
well,
if they even would.
so I've had two. The next one's calling the sheriff's department, and then I will make sure that they come see me afterwards or I see them. I tried to stop the fire department guys standing in the front street as they went past my house, and they're waving, and they had another call and they didn't stop. But I'm tired of him burning. I'm tired of seeing him hauling trash in there.
Yeah.
And, God's work or whatever he's doing, it's a whole.
Yeah,
Well,
so
it's not
let me
Christian
ask
behavior either.
Mayor Fisher here. Do we have anything in our zoning or in our laws about open burning in the
Yes.
village? Okay.
Absolutely.
So we have established laws, and the EPA also has established laws, so they're basically violating all kinds of established laws.
6 a.m. to 6 p.m. in November, isn't it?
It
Still
is.
for the state of Ohio?
It is.
I think it's, yeah.
But then there's also stuff, Nick, like, people always thought that you could burn leaves on your property. You cannot. There are so many restrictions now what you can burn, on your property, unless you're a farmer or whatever for their agricultural purposes.
They still can't burn. They used to burn fertilizer bags.
They can't do that.
They
anymore.
can't do that
They can only
anymore.
burn natural material.
I
And
think
they
our
can't burn
ordinance
so close
says
to properties and things like
1,000
that.
feet from an inhabited structure.
Yeah.
Right.
Not in between
And that way
the
people-
garage and the trailer and the house, which is 40
We have
feet
sent
in
out
the middle.
letters to people that we find open burning, letting them know what our regulations are, and then do the fire department as well.
So going forward, we have to get this second notice and we will call EPA if you like, I'll call.
It don't bother me. I'll call the EPA and I'm calling the sheriff's department.
Okay, so are we good with moving forward?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, please don't apologize, I wanna make sure we're good. Old business?
Got a couple of questions. I wasn't in the November meeting, and at our the candidates night, Mr. Dora Hall brought up a issue.
Mhm.
And I didn't see it in the minutes. I didn't know if there was any resolution to anything that he talked about, or did you see him in here?
I went over and tried to talk to him a couple times, and I haven't been able to catch him at home.
Okay.
I knocked on his door, I texted Char,
Yep.
and haven't been able to catch him, so.
And
and he's went to Arizona, so we're gonna have to, I told her we'd have to try to address it when he comes back in the spring.
I've spoke with him too,
Was
and
this-
he's fine with, waiting till spring.
This issue with the basement flooding. and-
Yes.
Okay.
And then one other thing I want to ask Carrie, there was two people that had, two of the people for the chili cook-off. I don't believe I picked up their entry fee.
They were in
Oh,
your
I
box.
did. I'm sorry, I did. That's right.
Yes, they were in your box.
That's all good.
All right, anyone else have anything for old business? All right, we'll move on to new business. I have, something for y'all to take a look at for next year. The regulations, code of ethics, and conduct for elected and appointed officials. Something I'm hoping you all will take a look at. What's the matter, bud?
You hung up on him.
So this is something I hope that y'all will take some time to take a look at. I think that we need to do some tightening up here and ethical behaviors within our government. And some regulations for elected and appointed officials, including trainings, conduct, etc. So that's all I have for new business. So anyone else?
I do.
Okay.
I know I've just been a short time here, but I'd like to thank Nick and Holly, for their service to the village this past couple of months that I've been on council with you guys. Thanks.
Aw,
Appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys.
I do
too.
too.
Yeah.
I have some new business. My son brought this to my attention earlier today. We have some graffiti spray painted on the sidewalk between the church and the library on High Street. It is disturbing, so I'm not gonna say what it is on camera here. Most of it washed away with the rain last night, but we might want to get service over there to take a look and see. Hopefully it'll just naturally wash away, but we might want to get that off the sidewalk.
Okay. Between the church and the library.
He wasn't very descriptive. And
On the same side as the library? that
Yes,
sidewalk?
yes, and I will double check and have him send me the picture of each of his little and get it forwarded to you.
All right.
Mayor Fisher, real quick, this regulation, code ethics and conduct, is this to be, resolved within the upcoming year? Or is this something that needs to be addressed
Next
right now?
month.
Next month? Okay. So I have time to actually
Something for y'all
read
to
it.
Look it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a month.
Excellent.
It's a lot of
Any
numbers.
other new business? Alright, entertain a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Dave Price has made a motion to pay the bills. Is there a second? Holly Landis has made a second. All in favor? Is there any discussion? Sorry. All in
No.
favor? Great.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Nick, we're making
I
a
had
motion
for
to
the last
adjourn.
one. I never got it in yet.
His
last official
Making a
act.
second to adjourn. All in favor?
Hold on one second.
Oh, we're done.
Ah, I thought we had a recap. I
Fine.
thought there was a
Yeah, but I
recap.
got
They were
3
double
pieces of
checking.
paper here.
You might not be
Yeah,
going
they're
anywhere.
all
No,
of
we're
them
giving
are
it to
the
you.
things, as long as
giving
they
it to
just
you.
get one signed.
Okay.
Just
Automatic
sign one of the
recount.
pages, but those are
Alright.
the bills, so.
Holly made a second. All in favor
I
to
don't know if
adjourn.
they want.
Yay! Thank you guys.
I will be back